Hello and welcome to Zach Rants. On this particular episode, I am going to spend some time talking about the latest controversy with the Writers Guild of America strike and the artificial intelligence that threatens the writing community. As always, these rants are off the top of the dome piece. This is obviously something that I have thought a lot about, so as I proceed to talk about it, a lot of this is going to be already thought out, just a little bit rambling. So as far as the writer's strike is concerned, I think there is a lot of deep-rooted concern about what does this mean in terms of how studios are going to respond. In past writers' strikes, there have always been scabs willing to come in for less money, who are okay with not being able to join the union, who are fully willing to, write for studios, write for television shows, write really bad movies. And that's usually what happens during a writer's strike is really, really bad movies come out. And this one's not going to be different in that regard. We are going to get a lot of bad film over the next few years, particularly anything in streaming. It all kind of depends on how long this writer's strike goes on for. But the biggest thing here that I think needs addressing outside of the money is the threat of artificial intelligence. Before we get into AI, just to address the money thing, yes, obviously a lot of these writers for streaming services are being treated like mini writers' rooms, and they're not being paid their due. A lot of them are getting paid basically what you would get to work at like a grocery store, especially one that was like a union grocery store, which is not fair. It's not fair to people who are raking in, millions of dollars for these streaming companies, for these channels. It's just not right, and I totally agree with that desire to strike. I think that a lot of other industries could learn something. Snoop Dogg himself talked about how musicians could learn something from this, and it is absolutely true. The easiest way to get people to go, oh man, maybe we should pay these people more, is to stop giving them stuff. You really want them to give you more money, you should stop giving them material, stop giving them content to put out into the world and take advantage of you with. But as to the topic of artificial intelligence, now this is being downplayed a lot in the media as to kind of the involvement in the strike, but this is a part of the strike. For people who are wondering kind of what's going on, writers are concerned that as AIs like ChatGPT-4 kind of get more and more improved, as things like ChatGPT-5, etc. come out, that we will eventually see robots writing movies. And I'm here to tell you that that is 100% going to happen. That is definitely going to happen. It's definitely going to happen during the writer's strike, and it's going to continue to happen afterwards. Obviously, there is a lot of talk about like what constitutes content from an AI. Does AI have a claim to content? The answer would be no. AI are not people, despite the fact that 60 to 80% of the population seems to be freaking out about the intelligence levels of these machines. It's just not the case. It's not there yet. There's also argument that AI may never get there. Sapience and sentience are two very, very different things. And though an AI may be able to improve itself to a point where it is perfect at doing jobs like being a doctor, being a lawyer, being a paralegal, being a CEO or an executive, while we may get to that point, and I'm perfectly okay with that because I would rather spend my days sitting around in the sunshine, drinking wine, and eating summer sausages, I would rather not also have my art taken away from me. But in the long term, I am actually not terribly concerned about the artificial intelligence's impact on writing and art because of the human element. Now, some people are already on the bandwagon of why would I want movies written by people if I can put into an algorithm, hey, give me a movie in the style of Martin Scorsese or Terry Gilliam that stars James Dean, Laura Dern, and Timothée Chalamet all in their 20s. Yeah, sure. I mean, that sounds cool, and the gimmick would be cool for a minute, but I think we're all forgetting what brings people into art, which is both A, the person behind the art, and B, the flawed nature of art. Even something that is considered an artistic masterpiece from a writing perspective, since that's what we're talking about, is not. Nothing is perfect. A movie like, say, Goodfellas or The Holy Mountain or any movie that is highly praised for being quote unquote perfect is not. It's not true at all. Where you'll find somebody who adores The Holy Mountain, you will find somebody who thinks it is the biggest piece of garbage they've ever seen. It's just the case with film. There's no taking away from that. And the problem with AI, as somebody who has messed around for hours with ChatGPT 4, seeing what it can do as far as screenplays go, I mean, it's competent. It can make a competent screenplay that with an editor, obviously you could put out on a streaming service, and I'm sure 1 million to 2 million regular Joes will watch it and go, oh yeah, that was fine. But that's not really the point of art. It's not really the point of entertainment either. The point of art and entertainment is to make something that sticks with people, something that people can relate to, and machines are not human. They'll never be human. Machines, even if they come to a point where they themselves have sapience and are able to create things, they're not flawed. Machines are inherently perfect. They are designed to be perfect, and that is not attractive from an art perspective. It would be like having a Big Mac, fries, and a Sprite every single day for every meal. It would eventually become forgettable. It would not be an enjoyable thing. You wouldn't wake up each day going, man, I'm so excited to have 3 Big Macs and 3 fries and 3 Cokes today. It just wouldn't feel good. It would be boring and monotonous and depressing, which is what will happen in the next few years as AI becomes more and more involved in writing and in producing movies. We're going to get a lot more stuff that feels like these really garbage movies like Ghosted, movies like that Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne The Rock Johnson thing with Gal Gadot. I don't even remember the name of it because it was literally that forgettable. We're going to get a lot more movies like that. But here's the thing about film and about writing is that that stuff has always existed. I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody, but like Colleen Hoover is not a standout writer. She reads like an AI written novelist. So same thing with James Patterson. Even James Patterson's old stuff reads like a robot wrote it. A lot of Stephen King's newer works reads like a robot wrote it. You can find very generic, very formulaic material throughout time because, frankly, it's very, very easy to write something simple, straightforward, that follows the classic hero's journey, or even Blake Snyder's Save the Cat. When Blake Snyder's Save the Cat came out, that was one of the quickest ways that mainstream movies started to become boring. People started going, oh, man, this is what we need to do, to the point where people that I knew when I was in college who were attending other film schools for screenwriting were being told by their professors, if you don't follow the Save the Cat structure, we won't even look at your screenplay. We won't even consider it. And the truth is that is how Hollywood is. And people tend to forget that Hollywood is a business first and entertainment and arts industry second. These are not people in charge who are artists. People who are in charge of these are not artists. They are businessmen. And if to them, in their eyes, they see a profit in using machine written scripts, they're going to, but it's not going to last forever. And the truth is that you'll always have studios, most likely studios like A24, who are going to reject robot written scripts in favor of people who have auteur, unique visions. I am not concerned for the long-term state of the art and entertainment industry as far as artificial intelligence goes, and I actually don't think most people should be either. The only thing that I am really concerned about is that it may take a while to get there. This period of time reminds me a lot of when Trump won the 2016 presidency. I don't really care what anyone's politics are. I just remember waking up that day, seeing the news, and thinking to myself, oh, well, comedy is dead for the next 4 to however many years. And I was right. Everything became about this stupid, stupid man. And people produced the least funny content they have ever produced. From major TV shows to YouTube channels, we obsessed over a clown for the last 7 years, and we still do, and people still produce content about him. There will be AI-written movies. There will be. Netflix will probably release a lot of them, especially during this writer's strike, and they will not be good, and people will hate them, and Netflix will lose subscribers. Because despite the fact that there are people out there who are willing to just eat a Big Mac and fries for every meal, most people are reasonable, and occasionally they want a steak, or they want a salad, or they just want something different, something that feels like it was unique and made by a real person with flaws and something to say. And robots don't have flaws, and they don't have anything to say. Thank you so much for listening to this rant. Drop a like if you agree. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Tell me how wrong you think I am, or let me know if you agree. Feel free to share this video with your friends. Try to get a conversation going. I think this is an important conversation. I know not many people will probably watch this video, but if you do, let me know what you think. And feel free to subscribe. I put out weekly video reviews. I do 2 new movies a week on Fridays and Saturdays. Monday through Thursday is going to be kind of a mix of classic reviews and horror reviews and hot takes, like my hot take on Hush and my hot take on Speed Racer. Thank you so much. Hope to hear from you soon. See you, Space Cowboy.